Okay, so let's get going to PowerPoint. And I'm not going to have my JAWS on so it doesn't conflict with my voice, but I will tell you all the commands along the way. I'm going to go ahead and hit my star key and I'm going to type in PPT. And PPT automatically is the default to bring up PowerPoint, so I'm just going to hit enter on that. And it will open. And you get to your backstage view and you can either hit escape or enter. I'm going to hit escape. And I get to my slide view area. So what I'm going to do right now is just, there's different ways to handle this. I'm going to go ahead and hit my applications key first. So I'm going to show you the different options so you see that you have different options to choose. For those of you who are sighted, you're going to see a right pane that says Design Ideas. If you have 365, this is incredible. It's life-changing for blind people, because you can literally copy and paste pictures, you can put them any place, and the design pane will organize them and put them exactly as you want. If you do not, then you need to go the route that I'm going to show you right now. As soon as you get to your slide view, you're going to hit your applications key, and you're going to up arrow to Format Background. And you're going to hit enter on Format Background. The hotkey is also B. So when you're moving with your cursors, listen to the hotkeys because you're going to come back here so many times. Anyway, I'm going to hit enter on this. And another navigation panes open with fill. And I always have the kids stick to solid. It's just easiest to begin with. You could down arrow. You have a multitude of options, radio button options there. But the first thing I need to do is tab one time, and you hear fill, and then you hear solid, and I could down arrow just so you can see all the different features. So visually my slide view area is changing as I go down. I do like gradient, that is one of my more favorite colors, but I'm going to up arrow to solid because that is where I typically start kids, solid or gradient actually. And then I explain what gradient is because a lot of blind kids don't know. I'm going to tab to my color and I'm going to hit my space bar to open it. I always have the kids do primary colors. If you down arrow to your theme colors, you need to go over the 10 columns of different colors. So once again, for beginners, I have them up arrow 3 times, and typically it is 3 times. And the way they know is and thus far it's always said green as soon as you up arrow to it. And then you're going to left and right arrow to choose the color that you want. If you choose a darker color, just be aware that black, if you choose too dark, black is going to be too black, and then you have to teach them how to use different font colors. So once again, choose what most makes sense. You can tab to your transparency, and I just tabbed one time, and I can up arrow and it adjusts. So if you're visual, you can actually see the percentage goes up, and you can talk to your kids about, okay, if you know it's a dark color, just tab to your percentage and just hit 25. Once again, you don't have to be sighted for this, but you do need to have someone take you through and show you the different options. So I went up to 25, and if I tab, I hear that, and I can just type in 25 or 26 or whatever. Now for ease, once again, this is for a beginner. With advanced kids, you can do a lot more. I'm going to tab one time, and it's going to say apply to all. So once again, beginners, apply to all, keep the same one. I'm going to hit enter. Now the navigation pane stays open. Make sure you teach them how to close it before, and actually I'm not in my slide view. I am still over in that navigation pane. And if you, for some reason, get out by accident back to your slide view and then you try to do another applications key to open another navigation pane, you won't get there. So you have to hit F6 to get there. So I'm going to do Control Space right now, and I'm going to do C to close my navigation pane. And now JAWS will tell you slide view area, and you're back in your slide view. So now I'm going to tab one time. And I'm just going to keep it simple because you guys are going to make your own fancy PowerPoints. I'm just going to type in title. I must hit escape twice. 1, 2. And I'm going to tab twice down to my subtitle placeholder. And I'm going to put by, okay, my name. Now, I'm going to hit escape out of this. Now I'm going to actually show you how to do design ideas, because you can just continue throughout right now. You're going to do Control M. You're going to make another new slide, which we will in just a second, but I'm going to show you your design ideas now. If your design ideas are open, so I'm going to do this way, and I'm going to show you how to get that open if it's not. I'm going to hit F6, and I immediately pop over to my design ideas, and I'm actually going to down arrow. Now, it's not updated enough to tell you all the different designs. So I always tell my kids, you can choose any design, you are not going to go wrong with it. If you're visual, you can easily go down and you can just hit enter on any of them and it will change. Once again, close that navigation pane. So I'm going to Control Space and C to close. And then I'm going to show you how to get it open. If this is the first time you've ever done this, you're going to get Design for Impact, and it will actually read to you, and you can actually hear it, and visually you can see it up in the left-hand corner, and you're just going to tab to Got It, or if you're visual, you're just going to click for Got It. Okay, and F6. So I'm going to hit my F6 key, because when you lose focus, you need to get back to your slide view. So I'm just going to hit my F6. I'm down in my status bar. Let me see if I can get my mouse down there. And I'm actually not sure. Sometimes the mouse shows up, sometimes it doesn't. Down in the status menu, bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to continue to hit my F6 key, and I'm actually going to move around. So now I'm up at my menu, top, okay? I'm going to hit F6 again, and I move to my thumbnails. So that's the left-hand side thumbnails. So when you want to rearrange your slides or delete them, we will do that also. You're going to come to your thumbnails, and I'm going to hit F6 again. And I'm back to the slide view. That's what it's going to say, slide view area. So now I have Hot Pink Bubbles, title, and then by Dr. Denise Robinson. Actually, I don't have Dr. Denise, I just have Denise Robinson. So here I am. I'm going to Control M for a new slide. Here we are. And it comes out black. So you can't, once you do your background color and you do a Control M, it will all be violet. That's the color I chose. But once you go into your design pane, all the colors start to change. So you don't have to do your applications key, your background color, but like I said, it's a great place to start for beginners. Let's tab in. We're going to put title. Now this is, I'm going to hit escape twice. This is a one content placeholder. So we're going to do one content first. Most often teachers want you to do two, and I'll do that in a minute. So I'm going to tab twice down to my placeholder and put stuff here, enter. And you have a bullet each time you hit enter. Lots of stuff. Like I said, I'm just showing you how to do this stuff again, okay? So this is a great place if you just have a lot of information to put in here. We will do another one of these and we'll just put a picture. Okay, so the design tab is closed. I'm going to hit escape and get out. And I want to open the design tab so I can actually look at the options of designs. I'm going to Alt-G to my design, and I'm going to hit D, and visually, if you look all the way to the very end, so of course if you're blind you have to tab through all your other options. Your design tab is also another great option, and I'll go through this also, where you can actually choose a plethora and a myriad. And that's Alt-G and H. We'll do that in a moment. But right now, I'm going to hit D to go to Design Options. And my Design Option pane opens again. Now, you have to hit F6 to get there. So I'm going to hit F6. And I'm going to go ahead and down arrow and or up arrow. I don't know. Which one do I want? And just hit Enter on any of them. Okay? And close that pane. Because if you forget to, of course, you're going to try to get back there and you're not going to remember why. Well, eventually you will, because we learn more from our mistakes than we do from doing absolutely everything right. So once again, Control Space, C to close, and we're back to my title. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one. And we're doing Control M, think more, Control M, and here we are. Now, let's change to two content holder, because that's the most common. So applications key, And you automatically should be on layout. If you're not, then down arrow to layout or L for layout and hit enter. And it is like a huge grid. Title slide is always in the top left hand corner, and to the right of that is title and content. I have 365, so I have a lot more options. Typically most have either 9 or 12 options, but I want to go ahead and go to content, so I'm going to right arrow twice. If you do not have 365, you're going to left arrow to your title slide and down arrow one time, and you will hear to content. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and go to content. These are like huge circles, so if I hit right arrow one more time, oh, I'm back to title slide. Okay. So then, if you're blind and listening to this and you hear the repeat, then you know you need to go ahead and down arrow to the next one. I'm going to hit enter on to content, and now I have to content. And I'm going to tab one time, and this is going to be to content. So this is typically the one that teachers want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape twice. I'm going to tab twice, and I'm going to put content here. You can put your picture here too, but I'm just going to put content here. More content. Now I'm going to show you two different ways to do your pictures. So I'm going to hit escape out of this one. I'm going to go ahead and tab 3 times to click to add content, and now I'm going to insert a picture. So I need to Alt-N to insert, and I want to go to clip art. I do have P for pictures. We'll do that one in a moment. I'm going to hit F for online pictures. Now, once again, everyone's setup is just a little bit different, but I am in my search box. And let's say I want to search for an apple, and I type it in and I hit enter. And then I'm going to tab into my list view of options, and it takes about 4 times. Now, if totally depending on how your talking software is working, if you're not really confident in your commands, I suggest just going to your first picture and you're going to hit enter on that. Now, depending on your version, some of my kids actually have to route their cursor, so caps lock left bracket, and it moves the mouse directly over to the picture, and you can caps lock 8 to select it, and then you're going to tab to insert one time and hit enter, and it inserts a beautiful apple. Once again, we get wonderful options, design options to the right. I want you to hit your applications key first, and you need to alt text this before you do anything. Going to up arrow to edit alt text. Some of these, actually these do read, but some don't, and I always want to teach the kids how to alt text anyway. So I'm going to hit enter on this, and it says a picture containing a drawing. Yeah, don't we love that? So do a Control A in your edit alt text and just put apple. So when you move around, it's not in, sometimes they won't even read. If you tab around, you're just going to hear empty placeholder. Okay, so remember to close that pane. Now let's go ahead and do a new PowerPoint so I can show you the other picture styles. Control N for new PowerPoint. Okay, so here we are, and instead of using the design ideas, because you may not have 365, let's go ahead and use our other design in our menu. So is Alt, and then you're going to hit G to your design, and as you recall, you hit H to go into all of your other options. And JAWS will tell you, or your talking software will tell you what type of background you are going to. So I'm just going to right arrow and I'm going to go to a background and I'm going to hit enter. And this is in 2016, 2010, all your other PowerPoint options. So it offers a really nice way to create a really nice design. Once again, you tab in and you type your title, make sure you hit escape twice to get out, and tab twice to your subtitle and put your name. And this time I'll use Dr. Denise M. Robinson. I'm going to hit escape. And once again, you are going to do Control M. Now, if you're visual, you're going to see your design tab changing on the right-hand side. But once again, if you're teaching a beginner, have them do one style because you really want them to work on doing the different contents. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and do Control M for another slide. And it continues this really kind of cool slide design that I selected. I'm going to tab once and put title again. And I'm going to escape. I'm going to go ahead and do my applications key to content, since that is the most common. Remember, if you do not have an applications key, which is typically the second key to the right of your spacebar, Shift F10 will do the same thing. And I'm on layout right away. If you are not, you hit L for layout. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my to content. I'm going to right arrow twice. If you do not have 365, you're going to left arrow to title slide and down arrow to content. I'm going to hit enter on that. I'm going to go ahead and tab. I'm going to add info. Okay, we know how to do bullets. I'm going to hit escape twice. And now I'm going to insert a picture. I'm going to tab once, twice, 3 times from my picture placeholder. So I'm going to go ahead and do Alt N to insert. And my picture is P. So you will need to go online to find the pictures that you want. At this point, I'm going to do Alt D to my lookin, and I'm going to type in pic and then down arrow 1 time to pictures, because when you do Alt D, everything automatically populates. Then I'm going to do Alt N, and I'm going to go ahead and put in apple pie, down arrow, and hit enter, and my apple pie inserts. And it's alt texted correctly, a picture containing food table plate. It doesn't really say an apple pie. It kind of sort is okay. But once again, you always want to listen to the feedback, and then you're going to hit your applications key. And we're going to go ahead and edit that alt text. If you recall, it's the letter A. If you do not know that, you're going to up arrow, because remember, it's like a big circle, and you're going to hit enter. And we just do Control A and we type in apple pie and we hit enter. Yeah, you don't need to hit enter, but you do need a Control space and C to close, and you pop back into your title. So that is how you add information that way. Now, let's say you need to go get that apple pie. You do not have that. Well, you want to use Internet Explorer. And there's a lot of reason whys. If you go to my YouTube videos on YouTube, you will see all the different videos of the reason why. So I'm just going to tell you, you're going to hit your Windows key. You're going to go ahead and type in INT. It says Internet Explorer. This is an unsecure browser, so I always tell my students you're only going to use it for pictures, and that is it. You Alt D, and you're going to do... So you're going to Alt D to your lookin, and you're going to type in Google, and we love google.com because it's so accessible. Now you're going to go to your images, which is a link. So you're going to insert F7 because I do not have my JAWS on. I can just tab quickly to my images. So you're going to insert F7 to your images and just hit I for images because I do not have JAWS on. I'm just going to tab quickly to my images. And hit enter. And I go to my images, and Google Images immediately comes up, and I'm going to type in apple pie and hit enter on that. Okay, so these are graphics. You do need to make sure your browser is at 100%, and Control 0 will immediately do that, or Control minus, and you will hear the percentage, because Chrome does not have Control 0, so you need a Control minus or Control plus. So you're going to hit the letter G, because I do not have my JAWS on, I cannot hit the letter G, but you're going to hit the letter G, and it's going to highlight your pies. Then you're going to route your cursor with caps lock left bracket, and then you're going to do caps lock 9, which is a right click, and your mouse is literally going to open. S is save picture as, or I always have my beginner kids down arrow to save picture as. Hit enter and your dialog box opens, and they're going to type in pie. apple pie because we want to, and I've already done that once, so I'm just going to hit apple pie too and hit enter. So that's how you quickly find pictures. And if the kids do enough description, it is flawless. It really is perfect. And Alt F4 and get out. And that's how you do that. Okay, so this is a really nice start for your pictures. I want to quickly show you how you are going to hit F5 and it takes you into your presentation mode, and you can go ahead and down arrow because you do not want to set up a kiosk or anything like that. You want to go ahead and have the kids control their PowerPoints and the presentation. So it's in their ears. I always have them, the Bluetooth right in their ears. They can hear all of this and they can down arrow throughout their presentation and then hit escape and get out. So that's just a nice, easy way to do your presentation. We'll go ahead and further this information, but that is what the kids need right now is presenting in front of their classrooms with the information that they need. Okay, so let's go on to another area of adapting our work. Okay, so let's just go off to Google Drive. I'm just going to do a hotkey and let's start adapting work. Show you how to take an image PDF. So a teacher sent this. This is a final exam for one of my students. It is math science, which is typically the most difficult to translate. Going to GL.
GL main region, shared items list box, extended select list box, spring underline 2013 underline released under applications, context menu to navigate, press up or down, open with sub menu 2 of 2.
And I'm going to open with
converter for drive document 1 of 9, converter for drive doc Google text image PDF to word converter 6 of 9.
PDF to word converter. Now I've already hit enter on this and I've already translated it, so I'm just going to show you the steps and then I'll actually show you the translation. So
and alert, Firefox prevented this page from automatically redirecting to another page.
Okay.
Browse button to activate, press space bar.
So you're going to go ahead and just tab to browse button.
Enter. File upload dialog. File name edit combo.
Treat this just as you always would. You're going to go to your regular doc.
Rise, spring underline 20, enter. PDF to Word doc.
And you put it in there into the box, and then you just tab to convert.
Tab, horizontal tab, convert button to activate, press space.
Okay, I'm not going to convert it again. It takes a little while, and then I'm just going to
frame, blank.
Go to the next one, and then it's going to convert it to Word, and you can see it wheeling in the background. So I'm going to show you what it actually looks like when it's done.
Alt tab, spring underline 2013.
Now I'm going to go ahead and control home.
Page 1, section 1.
You can actually see all the visuals on it. Now, as a person who's going to clean this up for my student, because I don't want these overlays of released to interfere with her, you can go ahead and take your mouse and click on that and get rid of it. But what I discovered is it really reads well.
Section 2, page 1, 2 text columns. Bold, chemistry.
That tells you everything. I'm going to go ahead and bypass all this. So I'm going to insert 3, and then I'm going to do page down.
Table 1, student booklet, page down.
Okay, because what I want you to actually see
out of table, page 3, section 4, text.
See how well this works.
Page 2, section 3, normal, page 3, blank.
Here we go.
Blank, normal, 1, 3 isotopes of carbon are indicated below colon.
Okay, and now you need to have your attributes on. So you're going to insert Alt S, and you need to have classic attributes. I've already changed that, so insert Alt S.
Select the scheme dialog, list 1, list view, classic left parent.
So this is imperative, otherwise this will not read correctly.
Escape, edit, page 3, section 4.
And here we go. Now we've got superscript and subscript formulas, and listen very carefully.
Blank. Superscript 12, subscript 6, normal C, superscript 13, subscript 6, normal C, and superscript 14, subscript 6, normal C. Okay,
so you can hear it slower. I'm going to go ahead and hit home.
Home, superscript 1. Blank. Superscript 12, subscript 6, normal C, superscript 13, subscript 6, normal C, and superscript 14, subscript.
How incredible is that? And this is just a translation program. This took a PDF and it translated it beautifully. So let's go ahead and go down to anything else that is slightly different. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to number 2.
Blank, blank, C address blank, D address blank, blank. Blank. To which statement correctly compares an atom of boron-11 and an atom.
Okay. Exactly as it's printed
of carbon-14.
Okay, let's go ahead and go down to even more
atom, blank, C, atom, blank, D, atom of blank, 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 3 with blank. 1 italic S superscript 2 normal 2 italic S superscript 2 normal 2 italic P superscript 6 normal 3
Okay.
italic S superscript 2 normal 3 italic P superscript 6 normal 4
And
italic.
of course, the student has a braille display connected, so she hears, okay, where the superscript is and the subscript, and she knows the power of, and she's feeling the braille display. So she is getting the auditory feedback and the tactile feedback. Now, one thing I went past really quickly is the bold word.
Blank 3 with bold italic best normal represents the electron configuration for an atom of iron.
Okay. So once again, the blind student clearly understands what this test is looking for. So I wanted to show you another incredible app, PDF to Word converter. So go ahead and try that app out. Okay, let me do a hotkey to go into the web and show you another conversion program. I'm going to show you how to make Kindle books truly accessible with your PC. So I've got multiple windows open right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you have to sign up for an Amazon account. So you're just going to go to Amazon.com and sign up for a Kindle account. Now anybody who has an iPhone or iPad probably already has Kindle as an app, and yeah, it's great audio and you can play it. But let's say you actually want this to be text. Maybe you want to move it to your Braille note. So what I'm going to show you, it's not cheating anybody. You have to buy the book, but you're just putting it in a format that you want to utilize. My students, they love the audio, but more importantly, they really want to get these books under their fingers. You don't have to memorize every single step. You've got this video to follow, but you can also go to yourtechvision.com. And it happens to be on the very first page right now. It's called Making Kindle Books Accessible on PC by changing them to text. And then, of course, if you change it to text, you can easily load it to Braille for your Braille note or whatever, or just have it in Word. Okay, so I could bring up the links on this also. So I have already downloaded all of these products. I'm just going to take you through step by step. The first thing you're going to want to download is Kindle for PC. Okay, so let's do a
Control T, new tab dash Mozilla KIDLE 4 PC.
And you can just do Kindle for PC, and I've already have it downloaded. You need
PC, Amazon.com, help Kindle for PC with accessibility plugin, HTTPS : enter, new tab, normal, new tab dash Mozilla Fire.
So here's the link for that, Kindle for PC with accessible plugin. You're going to go ahead and pull up your links and download that plugin. And that truly does make Kindle for PC very accessible. You can read it. All the commands happen to be on this page. Also, it's very doable. You can even do a find command on it and jump to where you want to be. But let's say you want to take it one step further. Okay, so you've downloaded Kindle for PC. You've downloaded the accessible plugin, the accessibility plugin. Now the next thing you need to do is
normal app selected, normal shoals.net/prod.
You're going to go to James Scholl's page. There's many different ways to do this. Calibri, you're going to use it in combination with Calibri. Calibri, he will tell you to go ahead and download used DRMX for his extractor. I've used both. I find James Scholl's easier to use. So he has a codex here, and you're going to download his codex, and then you're going to download Calibri. Once again, this is all on my site.
Normal, making Kindle books accessible on PC by changing them to text --caliber/codex vertical bar tech vision.
And Caliber is a book management system. So once again, you don't have to memorize the links to these. All you have to do is just click on the links in my page, and it'll take you right there. So you can download your codex. And then once you get all of this loaded, you really don't even have to deal with Kindle for PC other than you need to log in. And I'm going to just put that in focus right now.
Alt tab. Denise's Kindle for PC 2. Denise's Kindle for PC. Windows right arrow. Windows up arrow.
Okay, so, and I have it in list view mode. These are all the books that I have bought. I've already logged in. I don't need to do anything else with this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the codex.
Alt tab, making Kindle books accessible on PC by changing Alt tab, codex, files list box, Windows left, Windows up arrow.
Okay, so here is my codex. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find a book. So I'm going to do Alt-T.
Alt-T, context menu to navigate, press up or down arrow. F, find Kindle file from Amazon URL. F.
Okay, you could do that. You can find Kindle from Amazon, but I already have Kindle downloaded. If that's the process that you're taking, it's already found. But if you need to find a different additional book, you can go ahead and go to Kindle file from Amazon, the URL, and find that book. But let's say you've already downloaded it.
Browse downloaded Kindle books. B.
So I'm just down arrowing, and I went to browse download Kindle books.
Enter. Leaving menus. Downloaded Kindle books dialog. Books extended select list box. Timothy Keller dash hidden Christmas : The surprising truth behind.
Okay, I'm going to hush him up. So here is all my list of books, and I can just down and up arrow very easily.
Max Luke dash the David Perlman.
Okay, let's
Dash
go ahead
Max
and
Lucado
go
dash
to
in the manger colon.
Max Cato's book, and all I have to do is hit enter on that.
Enter. Files list box. Not selected. C : /users /dr Denise space C : /users /dr Denise.
And then I'm just going to do Alt-C to convert it.
Alt-C. Converting dialog. Converting file 1 of 1 C : /users /dr Denise /documents back.
Just going to hush him up.
100%. Conversion complete dialog. Converted files extended select list box. Max Lucado dash in the manger colon.
Okay, now I can open file, open folder, or close. Open file is the default. You can do Alt-O also. So I'm just going to do Alt-O because I always like to do the command just to make sure it's exactly where I want it to
Alt-O.
be.
Opening dash Word.
Okay, and then
And the manger underline 25 inspirational selections for Advent.
Yeah, here we are in Word, and of course it's all text. Now at this point I can do F12. I can save it as text. I can go ahead and put it on my thumb drive and put it over on my Braille note, read it in Braille. Of course, I'm going to want to convert it, so you're going to save and then convert it to a Braille format because typically, well, I can already tell you, none of my students want to read it in computer Braille. You don't want to read it in uncontracted. That's the advantage of Braille.
Jordan Sheffer is online.
It is fast. So that's basically how you convert Kindle books, ebooks, any EPUB, anything that's electronic format that you're listening to that you just want a text or Braille version of. So I've got it in Word and of course in Braille also. And that's how you do that. Okay, now I'm going to do a hotkey into Bookshare to show you how to do an EPUB version. Okay, so the way you get this into actual text is drop-down menu, go to EPUB, and as you can see, I've downloaded it, and here's my available. I've already clicked on the available, so you download it to your downloads folder. Let's go to my downloads folder. So you right-click on this. Now you have to download Codex first, and I'll take you there in just a second. So there's Codex, and you convert to, and there's Microsoft Word 2007. Now this is going to take a while, probably about 5 minutes maybe I think it took me, and then you're going to have an open file button, and then I'm going to take you to Word so you can actually see. So I've opened it, so let's go ahead and Control Home. So you can see all the links for all the pages, just like all the other kids. Okay, so let's go page down really quickly. So the kids actually can bring their Insert F7 up and go right to the links using their talking software. Let's go down even faster. Okay, so the pictures are even here, and then some of them are labeled correctly, some of them aren't, but it'll either say graphics, and it's no big deal to a kid anyway. But what it helps is the sighted teacher to gain information of where the kid's at. I'd probably change this book into landscape. I just opened it up, so I haven't taken a look at it. But once again, blind kids are not going to be looking at this. It'll just say graphic. This is more for the sighted teacher to help guide them where the child is at. But all of this, as you can see, is actual text now. So it took that image. Look how beautiful that is. Once again, the image is for the sighted teacher, not the blind child. So let's go page down a little bit more. But all the images and pictures and everything else are there. And that helps the sighted teacher know where the kid is. Multiple and divide fractions. Well, that was a heading up at the very top. Okay, and you go right down to your lessons. Oh, okay. So this is, yeah, it's an error because I'm moving around because I've already converted it. But typically that will say open file. And that's where I'm at right now, is open file. Okay, so let's go down even further. All the questions, inquiry lab, ratios. So once again, the blind child can read everything, exact same book as everybody else. And I always teach the kids, do a find command. Okay, we need to go way down here because we're still in the page numbers. Okay, so let's get even further. Number system, okay, there's your number system. Compute chapter 1, yeah, that many pages. We're down 103 pages and we're down to chapter 1, compute with multiple digit numbers. Okay, So anyway, it is set up just like the other kids. Got all the problems there. So now they no longer have to retype their information. They can do their work right here, Control Shift right arrow, type the answer in, they're good to go. How cool is that? So that's EPUB, conversion to codex, and your codex is, got that open here. So you're going to go to jsscholes.net/project/codex. This is his site. You're going to go all the way down, and you're going to find, yeah, and I always donate for people I help, but that's me. Codex installer, install that, and then it will automatically attach to your right click. And I use this for Kindle. It's great for Kindle also, your audiobooks. It will translate those audiobooks into text also. So I have found like 1,000,001 uses for this program. It's pretty incredible. And of course, it will give you updates on all the other different things it does here. But it probably does more than this he even imagined this would do. So that's how you do EPUB with codex to actually get the correct text. And actually, if you wanted to get rid of the graphics, I don't know if I would, because once again, that helps the sighted teacher know exactly where the student is at all the time also. I'm always trying to, how can everybody understand what everybody else is doing? That's how we do it. Okay, so now I'm going to actually take you to a PDF and show you how to take a scanned image and actually convert it into text. Okay, let's go do that.
See folder view list new chapter enter.
So the teacher,
Text, computer grade, reading order, combo box, and
I can already tell you the reading won't work. So the teacher took a document, put it on a scanner, scanned it, saved it as a PDF, and
blank.
That's what any talking software will read it. It's blank because it's an image of text. It can't do anything. There's many OCR programs, Kurzweil, OpenBook, JAWS OCR now, but JAWS OCR won't even do this.
OCR failed to start.
And because it's an image. So here is a different way to tackle images that you want to do for free, and you don't have to have an expensive OCR tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a copy of that. And now I'm going to go to Google Drive and I'm going to paste it in there. Now this is Google Drive, so it's syncing to my drive in the internet. So if I open my internet, and there it is in my drive. And I've downloaded this a couple of times because of course I wanted to test this all out and make sure it works beautifully before I showed you guys. Now I'm going to hit my applications key and I'm going to open with Google Docs. Now what's occurring right now, because there's no feedback, is it's actually processing this image into text. So that is what Google does now. And here it comes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this won't make any difference to blind people, but I want you to make note of this. If I actually took my mouse and clicked on this, visually you can see that that is a picture. But the blind people just want the text. They don't need the image, and you can't select what is not image. So I'm just going to go down. And there it is. So now the talking software starts working because, of course, it didn't read that image. See? Blank, 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 blank. Blank image. So you can just arrow past your blank image. You just need to down arrow enough. Now this is 6 pages long, so you don't want to listen when you open it up in your PDF. You do want to listen to how many pages it is so you know how many pages to select out. So I'm just going to Control Shift start selecting this out. Now, you can listen how perfect this is. There's still going to be cleanup. You're going to see that 3 is intermixed with 4. But, so this is what I do. So I'm going to select all of the text out and I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go ahead and open Word. And I have hotkeys for these. Now, when I paste, I'm going to use my paste options key, which is you hit the control key and hit T to keep text only. So I'm going to hit paste,
Pasted.
hit my control key,
Menu group. Table. Paste option. T.
T for keep text only, and those who are visual will immediately see that it changed to Times New Roman.
6. In a direct democracy.
Insert
citizens
F.
11 points. Black on white. Times New Roman.
Okay, so I've got Times New Roman 12, and it changes it to it perfectly. If a paraeducator is doing this, or a TBI, they of course are going to go to
5. More and more Americans now earn a living plan. About democracy. And 2.
Go like 2.
Take actions that go against the laws of the national government. 3.
And they can see that 3 is in there. Now they can go ahead and return that and clean it up. But a blind student can too. You know, in high school they need to prepare for what's going on out in the world, and wow, what a great option that is. So OCR is built into Google now, and so you can take those images and turn them right into text. Okay, let's go ahead and do another OCR. So many options. I'm going to go ahead and Windows E. Okay, and I'm going to choose a PDF. So let's go ahead and hit D for, yeah, probably something in my downloads, as I always have something in my downloads. And let's go ahead and just pick, it does not matter what PDF. And so if you have a totally inaccessible, once again, scanned image, really poor, we're going to hit our applications key. And if I down arrow, and we've already done codecs, so let's go ahead and just do some comparison here. I'm going to go down to convert to, down to Microsoft Word and hit enter. And we're going to do this 3 different ways. We're going to do it in codecs, we're going to convert with Word, and then we're going to convert with OpenBook. And there it is. Let's go ahead and tab to open file. And here we are. And oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, so that's one. So let's go ahead and Alt tab back to my downloads folder. Here we go. And let's go ahead and hit our applications key. We did codecs now. Now we're going to do open with, and I'm going to go up arrow to choose another app. And I'm going to tab one time, and I hear Adobe because of course that's what it thinks it wants, but we already know Adobe won't open it. I'm going to down arrow to more apps, spacebar, and now I'm going to down arrow to Word, and I'm going to hit enter on that and give it a second to translate, and there's Word. Ooh, I love that one also. Oh my goodness, let's just alt tab between those two. That looks like, oh, beautiful. You know what? Couldn't go wrong with either one of those, could you? So it took that image document and it just did, so either codecs or Word. Fabulous option. Let's go ahead and alt tab to our downloads again. So while we're here, let's go ahead and show you how to do OCR, JAWS OCR. So let's go ahead and hit enter on this and open this unit test. And here it is. We already know codecs and Word did a fabulous job on it. So before you start talking software, always go to your desktop. So I'm going to sit on my Windows key and hit M to minimize. Hit J for my JAWS and hit enter and open.
JAWS Professional.
So I'm going to sit on my Alt.
What is my unit assessment.pdf Adobe Acrobat Reader DC? To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Okay. And it's always going to have
Reading order,
your...
combo box. Infer reading order from document recommended. 1 of 3. To change the selection, use the arrow keys. Alt plus R.
And if it's an accessible document, absolutely Alt S and start this. But what we want to do is JAWS OCR on it.
Escape.
So
What is my unit assessment?
Okay, ready, and we want to insert space, O, and then S. Ready, insert space,
Space.
O.
OCR. OCR failed to start.
OCR failed to start. Aha. Insert space,
Space.
O.
OCR. Started.
Okay, here we go.
Finished. JAWS.
Okay, this is your JAWS cursor. So insert space OS, and you can read it with your cursor.
What is is meant to fix? The plant goes towards the light. The plant's action is an example of converto.
Okay, so if you're really desperate and you need to get something to read, wow, we just love our JAWS cursor.
Microsoft Word R.blocks.
Yeah, now remember, it's reading all the way across the page, so it's actually reading what is to the right of this.
Document language. English US change. Reproduction.
Okay, and the kid, yeah, it's harder. I'm going to tell you, only my advanced kids use this. But you can actually use your JAWS cursor. The problem once you get down to the bottom of the page, you have to do your insert 3, bypass key through, page down. in order to get to the next page, and then you start over with your JAWS cursor. JAWS cursor comes in very, very handy for so many things.
Space, space, space.
So this is just another option, but we just like plain old JAWS OCR, insert space OD, and it will actually, of course, open in your virtual viewer. Okay, so that is another one.
Alt F4.
And close out of that. Okay, and then right back here, and let's do another one, applications key down to open with, which is H, we know, and down and right arrow down to open book and enter. And the Kurzweil will do the same thing. That's just the applications key is just a really, really fast way to get things done.
Untightly.
Okay, and then once it loads, what you want to do is launch it. So Alt-C to launch.
Photocopy.
And my word happens to be number 3, so I'm going to hit 3
Please
and launch
dialog.
it directly
File
into
C.
3.
In the dialog, out of dialog.
And here we go. And I'm going to tab to no on the word, and here it goes, and it opens. Okay, so comparatively to the Codex version and the Word version, it's okay. The point is we want a lot of different options depending on what we need to do. So those are just really great ways to get to work off the applications key. Typically, I'm going to tell you, we really do prefer that applications key and Word typically is one of the best, and then Codex is the next, and that's our typical go-to commands. Okay, let's go ahead and do IXL. I just love this for absolutely studying for everything. If you don't know what I'm talking about yet, well, let me go ahead and show you. So I'm going to go to Chrome with Windows 2.
Windows 2, taskbar, address and search bar, edit, type in text.
Okay, I'm going to type in IXL, and it automatically comes up, IXL.com.
XL, enter, XL.com, list.
Okay.
Regions, 63 headings and 141 links. Visited link match search.
Now, your school most likely has probably paid for this. If you don't, you can get a lot of these free. And actually, when I start out, students will do part of it on Chrome, part of it on Firefox, part of it on Edge, part of it on Opera. So you can actually do a lot of these practice. So just so you know, these are all headings and links, incredibly accessible. So the first thing, as soon as you open it, I always tell the kids, go to what you want to do first. So we're going to insert F7. Actually, let me show you all of these. So if you insert F5.
Select the form field dialog. List 1, list view. Search topics and skills, edit.
Okay, so search topics and skills.
Search topic, username, edit, password, edit, sign in button. Remember, checkbox not checked. 6, escape.
You can do that, but I want you to do insert F6 now.
Heading list dialog. Headings list view.
Here are all your headings. What's really great about this is your headings are also mixed in with your links. But you could hit
Math 3, 5
Math,
of 63.
if that's what you want to hit, language, etc. I'm just going to let you explore that on your own because I'm going to hit escape out of that and do insert F7.
Escape. Links list dialog. Links list view. Learning 1.
Okay, so I want to do math. I already know that. I've already explored this site. I know how to use this site. So I want to just hit M and go right to math.
Math 7 of 141.
And hit enter.
Enter.
Okay.
IXL Math Learn Math Online. 6 regions, 31 headings and 150 links.
I'm just going to hush them up. The next thing you want to do is you actually want to go to the grade level. Now visually you can see that I was at 4th, but I want to show you how I got there. I could hit H and it would immediately pop me to IXL Math. That's in the middle of the page, and then I can just down arrow one at a time. But once again, once you learn this site, you know exactly where to go. So I'm going to insert F7 and I'm going to go to 4th.
Links list dialog. Links list view. Learning 1 of 1.
And I'm going to hush them up. I'm just going to hit the number 4.
4, 59 of
Oh,
150.
we love that. Okay, and I'm actually going to hit enter on that, or you can down arrow
60 of 150.
4th grade. Okay, so you want to go exactly into the grade that you want to do, so hit enter.
Enter. IXL Learn 4th grade math, 7 regions, 1 heading and 420.
And it always tells you everything you need to know about this. Well, I could hit H.
Racking to top, 4th grade math heading.
4th grade math. And if you're new to this, either pull up your links or go ahead and hit H and then just go down. Let's start with the first one. So I'm just going to down arrow the long way. I could insert F7 and go right to my place value models, but I want to show you how to do this just using your arrow keys. So H for heading, down arrow to my first number sense.
IXL offers hundreds of for link recommendations. Choose a skill that blank. A dot number sense.
Okay.
List of 27 items. 1. Visited link place value models.
Yeah, that's what I want. So I'm going to hit enter on this, and I'm going to show you how to do this.
Enter. Copyright 2019 IXL Learning. All rights reserved.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up because I'm going to tell you it almost always pops you in your answer. So you want to control up arrow to get to the top where it actually asks you the questions. Left hand sits on the control, and then I hit up arrow.
Purple slash block. What number is shown?
Okay, so always start with the question. I just set on my control, up arrow, what number is shown. Let's start counting. So now I'm going to hit my down arrow.
Purple slash block 100H purple and
100,
label graphic. Purple slash block 100H purple and
200,
label graphic. Purple slash block 100H purple and label
300,
graphic clickable. Purple slash block 10V purple graphic clickable.
310,
Purple slash block 10V purple graphic clickable.
320,
Purple slash block 10V purple graphic clickable.
330,
Purple slash block 10V purple graphic clickable.
340,
Purple slash block 10V purple graphic clickable.
350,
Purple slash block 1 purple graphic
51,
clickable. Purple slash block 1 purple graphic
52,
clickable. Purple slash block 1 purple
53,
graphic clickable. Blank. Edit.
okay, 353, and enter.
353. Enter. Purple slash block 1 purple edit.
Okay, let's do it again. Control up arrow until I get to my question.
Blue slash block what number is shown?
Okay, here we go. Let's count. Down arrow.
Blue slash block 100H blue and label
100,
graphic clickable. Blue slash block 10V blue graphic
110,
clickable. Blue slash block 10V blue graphic
120,
clickable.
down
Blank.
arrow.
Edit.
120 and enter.
120. Enter. Blue slash block 10V blue edit.
Okay.
120. Edit.
We love it. Let's do it again. Control up arrow.
Green slash block what number is shown?
And it typically takes 3 times. I'm just going to tell you that. 1, 2, 3. If it takes you a little bit more, no big deal. Get to the question. What number is shown? Here we go. Down arrow. Let's count.
Green slash block 100H green and label
100,
graphic. Green slash block 100H green and
200,
label. Green slash block 100H green and
300,
label. Green slash block 100H green and
400,
label graphic. Green slash block 100H green and
500,
label. Green slash block 100H green and label.
600,
Green slash block 100H green and label.
700,
Green slash block 100H green and label.
800,
Green slash block 10V green graphic clickable.
10,
Green slash block 10V green
20,
graphic. Green slash block 10V green
30,
graphic. Green slash block 10V green
40,
graphic clickable.
840,
Green slash block 1 green graphic clickable.
1,
Green slash block 1
2,
green graphic blank. Edit.
842. And enter.
842. Enter. Green
Okay.
slash block 1 green
Now
edit.
I'm going to hush them up. Let's say your child actually wants to know, hey, what's going on? How many scores do I have? Whatnot. Insert.
Text.
So this is a time test. So wait until the test is all the way done, and then the child can actually hear their scores. The easiest way to do it is actually do a find command for questions answered. So tab out of your
Submit
any
button to
edit
activate.
box.
Press space bar.
Do a control F.
Pause find dialog. Q
Type
U
in
E S I O S.
questions. Enter.
Questions. Enter to activate. Press space bar. Heading level 4 was Johnson's word.
And so it's a heading level 4. So the child could have also hit number 4 for that, and they can just down arrow.
3.
So they answered 3.
Blank. Heading level 4 time elapsed.
Time elapsed.
Blank. Table with 3 columns and 2 rows.
It's a table.
0 clickable.
No
4
hours.
clickable.
And 4 minutes.
3 HR
And
clickable.
4 seconds.
Mid click SEC table end. Blank. Heading level 4 smart score.
This is where they really want to know.
Heading level 50.
50. Their score is 50. Okay? So that is really, I just love IXL. It's very accessible. It's a lot of fun for the kids, and it really helps them learn their math skills. So I hope you learned how to go ahead and do that.